Hi, Barbara. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Richard.
Good. Hi. I can see you too. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome
you've
along.
got you've got a good background there.
Yes. Yeah, can you feel the warmth?
Yes, certainly can from that campfire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
My head's in the way, but there it is. It's not a bad look, is it?
yeah, no, it looks pretty good for a campfire chat.
Yes. Yes. There's a couple of others coming along. I think we've got about half a dozen, but they're not here yet. But yeah. So what brought you here? Obviously you're on the canning stock route, which is great.
Yes. Yeah, so it should be good. So you did a trip this year,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and there's a video from it. I've only sort of watched a few minutes of it. I haven't watched the whole thing as yet.
Yeah, yes. Um yeah, yeah, well actually this year I had a drone along, so I got a bit of drone footage. I don't think I've got that into the video yet actually, but it all takes a lot of time. um
Yes, sure.
but yeah, I shared a few of the shots that were on the trip. Um One of the girls took some drone, well, a lot of video as well, and she said she was going to send it, but she went overseas, and it hasn't happened yet. So bringing all these things together takes a little bit of time.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
So did you have some specific questions?
Oh, no, I was just curious about the route because we've booked from Alice Springs to Alice Springs.
Yeah.
For the actual canning. We meet up with other vehicles to do the part of the canning. And then
Yeah.
at the end, they go off to Newman and we continue back to Alice Springs. I assume without going to Newman,
Well, we've got 9 booked at the moment. There was another inquiry today, and we could well get more. We've got a family of Aboriginal people well, they're not all Aboriginal, but an elder from the Kimberley whose country is on the Canning Stock Route. So they're a party of 4 coming from Broome, and I think it'll be wonderful to have them along to
yes.
share some of that special country. And they're departing in Walloona, so then the rest of the group, 2 cars at the moment, maybe 3, probably 3. We'll depart from Alice and meet them at Halls Creek, and then we all travel down together and leave them in Walloona while we come back along the Gun Barrel Highway, because they're living in Perth and Broome or Derby, I think.
So
Yeah.
they haven't been along that route before, but
No, and they've chosen to come with us, so that's great.
well, that's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should be interesting having them along.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
So actually, the lady, she's actually quite a significant artist, and her mother was as well. So she's quite prominent in the community, and it's interesting that she doesn't apparently have been back to her country. So it'll be lovely to take her back there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
She's doing a lot of good work up there. Apparently, her daughter, who organised it, she's living in Perth, and I don't know what she does actually, but it'll be good to meet them and share a bit of time with them.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm wondering where all these other participants who registered are. I'm glad you were able to get in.
Yes. Well, are they from New South Wales or perhaps other states? And maybe there's time
Um,
differences. And
just let me have a no. It was clearly Sydney time,
yes.
but who have we got? Oh, Susan. Yeah, Kathy Marchant. Well, she's in. She's coming along. She's travelled with me in the Kimberley, and she's actually a descendant of the Duracs. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, she's a descendant of Stumpy, who was the guy that she said did most of the work. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a moth. That's the trouble with these outdoor campfires. You get some bugs around the place, don't you?
That's right.
She's she did a Kimberley trip some years ago and took a she was interested to do a tour that followed the Durack journey from southern Australia up to the Kimberley. So, anyway, I was looking forward to reconnecting with her because I haven't spoken with her for a while. And then we've got Trish and Phil Roberts. Well, they've done the Kimberley with me, I think they're from New South Wales, and then there's a couple of others. I'm not sure where they're from. So anyway, while we've got our time together, ask away. Hello.
So leave from Alice Springs at 7 a.m. So
Yeah.
most days is it sort of getting up at daybreak and then breakfast and then get going? Or?
We like to move with nature, which means
yes,
getting up at daybreak. There's a day where a couple of days where we have some rest days, easier days. One's in a community, Aboriginal community on the route, about a third of the way in, and another is a 2-night stay at Durba Springs. So that breaks the journey up nicely. When you leave Alice Springs, you'll have a couple of days. You'll have a night on the Tanami track, and then meet us at Halls Creek, in a hotel there, and then we all head off the next day. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little.
So where do you provision the vehicles from? From Alice Springs and from Broome, or?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and we fill up with fuel and water in Halls Creek, and then we can get some more supplies at this Aboriginal community, and so we fill up with fuel there. We carry fuel as well, and quite most of our supplies, because we can never be sure that we can get supplies at the Aboriginal community, although it's usually pretty good. Well, it's usually very good, but it does change over time.
And in your experience, how's the weather been in August? Has it generally been fine, or?
Well, this year it was wonderful. It was quite, very, very easy weather, sunny days. One year it was, and I'm not sure what year it was, but we have had it very cold and also wet, but that's not normally the case. That was only on one occasion. With global warming, I'm looking forward to warmer conditions.
You never know.
Be prepared, yes, that's
right. It's snow.
I don't expect snow, no.
You never know.
Yeah.
No, well, I don't really have any other particular questions.
Well, look, I might trot through the program I've got, so I'll just share a screen, which is my PowerPoint screen, and hang on, better get that working properly. No. You might hear some dogs barking in the background. They're not dingoes. They're there we go. They are our miniature huskies that and my partner Lynn's just coming home, so
Okay.
they're very excited. All right, can you see the screen there?
I certainly can, yes.
Okay, so this is what the plan is. So welcome. We've done that. I'm just outlining what we're doing in this little session. I should, and of course, I'm reminding you that you can save a lot of money if you finalise your payment by the end of the week. So if I can help you do that, or you need any help with it, let me know. There's no need for introductions because we know who we are. And then I've got a couple of other programs, including another webinar coming up on the 2nd of January, which is called Deep Nature Dive. And I offered the Rain Song CD, which came together some years ago. I'll introduce that and send you a link if you want to download a copy. And of course, there's a Songlines webinar, which you might get some value from. I recommend everybody has a look at it, actually. I'll send you I'll put the link in the chat or send it after the email. And it talks about songlines in Australia, and it's a free ongoing webinar. I'm referring to this Deep Nature Dive, which is it'll be a 1-hour webinar, which just introduces the concept of deep nature and some future programs we're going to be running, which are really about bringing people back to the nature within and the value of nature connection. When I first went to the Kimberley, I spent time with some senior elders up there, and it was a very profound experience. And from that, I ended up writing 3 toolkits for kids, and one of them was this Dance for the Trees concept, which is really about creating and facilitating community members to create local events to celebrate and local nature. So that's described in this website, Dance for the Trees. And the name comes from an event that happened exactly 101 years ago, which led to the biggest tree planting organisation on the planet. But I've recently registered the name Planet Partners, and I'm probably going to change the name to that, just because it's a bit more inclusive and understandable. And so look out for that. I'll send an email about it so you've got some more info. But what I'm aiming to do is to support people in community who want to do something for local nature and earn money out of it, to give back to nature and also to support themselves. And there's lots of ways to do that. You can have dinner parties in your home, or you can organise a festival like Woodford. There's everything in between. So Woodford's a fantastic example of supporting nature, planting trees, and engaging people more deeply with nature. Prime ministers have been there and added their bit. So I think there's potential for a lot more of that happening in community, and so we're sort of driving that and encouraging people to get engaged. So that's what that's about. And then I put out some time ago an introductory webinar, which is going to be on the 2nd of January, which is introducing the concept of deep nature, which is a term used globally for a deeper, more profound connection with nature and the benefits of that. There's a big, with the technology that we're seeing now, there's a big move away from this awareness or connection with nature, but we are natural beings, and there's great value in being grounded and centered, as every gardener will tell you. And even Peter Singh, who was a profound business leader, he talked about the industrial system being a subsidiary of nature, and I think that a lot of the world has forgotten that. But there's a shift back to it, obviously, with this awareness of the need to be more sustainable and what's the word? Resilient, but also recognition of interdependence. So I don't consider myself a greenie or a fanatic in that sense, but just someone who's looking for a bit of balance in a world that is rapidly changing. Yes. So I'm also encouraging people to give testimonials, which is a number of people that were going to be on the call today have been on our trips, and I haven't asked them to. I haven't been very good at getting testimonials, and it's very important these days with big organisations like Google and TripAdvisor sort of dominating the scene. So it's not relevant to you because you haven't been on a trip with us yet, but hopefully at the end of the trip you can consider that.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah. I'll just share this screen here. Oh, you're not seeing the screen. You're not seeing the PowerPoint.
Yes, I'm seeing that rain songs.
Oh, are you? Okay. I'm not seeing you or seeing it. I'm seeing me with the campfire in the background. All right. Well, the rain songs. That's the CD cover. This was done. I wrote the songs, 8 different songs, nearly just over 20 years ago, 21 years ago. Oh, it's their birthday. This was in the middle of the drought in 2002. And we had an a cappella group of about 20 people sing the first 4 songs. And then a young lady who did a lot of nature care around here, she sung 3 of them, and I sang the last one as a rap. And that night it started pouring rain all up the east coast of Australia. So everybody involved was amazed and grateful. And that's what the songs are about. They're about grace and integrity and connecting more with joy and celebration. So you get a free copy of those. I'll send you the link after this webinar.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's they're in MP3 format, but you can share them. You can put them onto a CD or play them in your car or whatever. This is an introduction to the songlines, ley lines and sacred sites webinar. I'll send you a link to the webinar, and at the end of that, it offers a PDF and further information in this expanded report. So that's the cover for the PDF that you can download after the webinar. So I'll send a link to that as well. So because there's not too many of us here, we've sped through this fairly rapidly.
That was a lot of interesting things there. Very
Yeah, well, look,
Very diverse.
I was going to put the links in the webinar, but I think it's simpler if I just email it to you. Probably more reliable as well. So probably not relevant to you as these tours that are available, although you could be interested, although no, you're leaving from Alice Springs, so that's not practical. But just before the Canning Stock route, we've got the Carragini trip. But maybe that's something for next year you might consider.
Yes,
Yeah.
can
Carragini,
always bear
amazing.
them in mind for the future.
Yeah, yeah. And we had planned a Cape York tour, but with the way Cairns is messed up at the moment, I'm not sure how that might go. But we are departing from Cairns, heading for Darwin on the Gulf Savannah Way. So after all this rain, that'll be an interesting journey.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what have you got lined up for Christmas?
Oh, we just have Christmas at home this year, so it'll just be the two of us. So
Yeah.
everyone else is elsewhere. So it'll be a quiet Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're doing the same thing. We were up in Cairns last year, actually. Yeah, my partner Lynn's son lives up at Kuranda.
All right.
Yeah, so we went up there, and that was his first Christmas there, and that was good fun. Did a bit of diving and checking things out in the rain.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Would have been very humid at that time of year.
Yes, it was. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Not my favourite place, but at that time.
No.
Yeah.
But,
I'll
nice
just,
once you get onto Cape York, though.
yeah, I'll just, yeah, I was just checking my emails. There's no one's emailed in said they're trying to get in or anything like that. No, well,
Oh,
that's the challenge of the webinars.
yes, that's okay. So, well, thanks for taking the time to take
All
me
right.
through those things.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure, and I look forward to meeting you and your other half in Alice Springs.
Yes,
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thanks for popping along and being here and for booking.
Yeah,
I look forward to have a great Christmas
you too.
and joyful New Year.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thanks, Richard.
All right. Great,
Yeah.
Barbara. Thanks a lot. All right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.